Warning, this podcast contains themes of extreme violence and murder. Subject matter may be offensive to some listeners. Discretion advised.
Welcome to another episode of Evil Transgression, your homicide headquarters here in podcasting. I'm Josh, and with me as always, Dustin and Rex.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
How you guys doing?
Great.
Great, huh? We won't start the episode by talking yet again about Dustin being late to the studio this morning.
I'm here, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
That's what I tell my work. I'm here, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah. And how much longer are you going to keep your job with that? I want to be rich so I don't have to work.
You and me both.
And guess what?
Me too.
It's never going to happen.
Nope.
I'm going to work until I die. Never going to retire.
Yep, me too.
Can't retire now because Social Security is going down the crapper.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Gas is
401k is going down. Yeah. It's a great time.
Oh, we can't talk about this. Remember, we got in trouble.
Well, we didn't politicize anything.
Right.
We got in trouble
We're
by
just speaking
saying
facts.
Yeah.
who was that goober? I'm not listening to you guys till you stop talking about politics.
Was that his accent?
When we was saying that we
Oh, yeah.
cared about the people in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Not the government in Ukraine, the people of Ukraine.
Right.
I don't know. It is what it is.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
With great power comes great responsibility.
It's true.
My show.
I don't know what that has to do with anything, but it came to my head. I think it was in terms of, when you have the platform that we do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Say whatever you want.
When there's millions of people just lining up at the door to listen to it.
Man.
So
yeah.
So on Evil Facts today, I figured that I wanted to go through the FBI archives and get some of their facts that they have put out.
Nice.
So with that being said, let's do some evil facts.
Evil facts.
According to the FBI, the development of social coping mechanisms began early in life and continues to progress as children learn to interact, negotiate, and compromise with their peers. In some individuals, the failure to develop these coping mechanisms result in violent behavior and is seen in several serial killers. So as a child, if you can't cope, you may turn out to be a serial killer.
Explains a lot.
Does it?
Yeah.
Does it now? According to the FBI, there are no specific combinations of traits or characteristics shown to differentiate serial killers from other violent offenders.
It's kind of scary.
Can't nail it down. Can't nail it down.
Interesting.
So there's no difference between David Berkowitz and Bill Cosby.
I feel like there is.
I mean, I'm sure that's not what they mean, but
Right.
that's what my brain goes to. I don't think, I mean, would you consider Bill Cosby a violent offender?
I mean, sexual assault is violent.
Did you see where their lady just came forward again?
No.
Yeah. They're going to try and charge him again.
Wow.
Said she was going to come forward the first time, but somehow didn't, or somehow they didn't take her or something.
Wow.
I seen the one lady that said that he sexually assaulted her. I'm like, yep. I don't know if anybody would do that.
He said the one lady. Take your pick, buddy. There's been quite a few.
Yeah.
There's the one. It's like, ugh.
Oh,
Dang,
shoot.
Bill's desperate then.
Wow.
It's a shame, man, because Bill Cosby, you never thought of Bill Cosby as that guy.
But
true.
you never do. It's them.
Yeah.
It's them that act like that.
Yeah.
Like look at Danny Tanner, old Bob Saget.
Mm-hmm.
He was wild outside of Danny.
Oh,
Tanner.
yeah, man. His comedy and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, now you're stretching it.
No, I'm not saying he did anything bad. I'm just saying he was wild.
Oh, he was foul mouthed.
Yes.
Oh,
Comedian.
Yeah. Big
But-
time.
Him cussing on stage is not the same as drugging women so he can have sexual intercourse with them.
Yep.
The FBI believes motivation of a serial murderer can be a very tricky thing. Stating classification of motivations should be limited to observable behavior at a crime. And even if a motive can be identified, it may not be helpful in identifying a serial murderer. Furthermore, utilizing investigative resources to discern the motive instead of identifying the offender may derail the entire investigation. So that makes the whole serial murderer thing like a giant riddle,
Yeah.
if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't look at a crime scene and be like, I think his motive was rage or sexual motive. Or
Yeah.
They're saying that can get you away from the actual investigation and figuring out who it was.
Right.
Tricky thing to think about.
Yeah.
So that is your FBI evil facts for today.
Good
A
stuff.
lot of stuff to think about.
Yep.
Those are some pretty deep facts.
Mm-hmm.
Like I read an entire symposium on the FBI's website about serial killers, and I was more confused than ever.
I bet.
Because I mean, they're basically saying you can't nail it down. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if they have, there's no specific combinations of traits to identify them.
Mm-hmm.
There's things in their early life, such as like we talked about coping mechanisms, negotiation. I mean, how do you find and track a serial killer?
Right.
That's probably why there's so many of them that we don't know about.
Yeah.
You know what I don't get?
What?
Like I would love to solve like a murder cold case. Like that'd be cool.
Uh-huh.
But you got all this DNA that they put into these systems and they don't match nothing. But then you got the ones that use like they did with the Golden State Killer, where they matched him through that genealogy.
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
It's like, why don't they put all of that in there? I'm sure you're gonna find out who it was.
Yeah.
You know how many people gave up their DNA for these 23andMe and all that kind of shit?
I want to know what percentage of Native American I am.
Right.
All right, Elizabeth Warren.
But it's like, I feel like it's probably expensive, but just send that shit off. I mean, we could find out. We could, do a lot more
Yeah.
cold cases.
I'm like 1% Nigerian. I swear.
1%.
I swear.
Like, where does 1% Nigerian come from?
No.
It's like your pinky toe.
Yeah.
This pinky toe's the Nigerian.
I got a toenail. Come straight from Nigeria.
I'm 100% Polish.
I can see that.
You are the biggest Polak I know.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of mine is German.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
You're one of those.
Ja. What about you?
What?
You were born in Germany.
I'm actually, I'm Polish, and I'm, believe it or not,
Irish.
I am, part Spanish.
Spanish.
Spanglish.
I'm Polish and Spanish.
That's like the worst combination ever.
Yeah, but like I got like the pasty white ass skin,
Uh-huh.
and like
That would be Irish.
Is dark, so it's like I look like this.
I got Irish too.
Do you?
Ireland. Scottish.
I'm Panish. I'm Panish.
Polanish. All right, so today we have a gentleman by the name of Cary Stayner we're going to speak on. And may not be like the most prolific killer that we cover, but he does go off the deep end.
Can't wait.
You got something to say?
No, I'm just waiting.
Oh, I was
going to, but it wasn't right to say, so I just didn't say it.
I seen your eyes went blank for a minute, and then
that's his normal look.
No, I was gonna say something, but then I'm like, we'll hold off on that.
Okay. All right. Well, buckle up, Evil Mob, as we discuss Cary Stayner. Cary Anthony Stayner was born on August 13th, 1961 in Merced, California to parents Delbert and Kay Stayner. Cary would be one of 5 children, 3 sisters, and a younger brother who we're going to touch on here in a minute.
Okay.
Cary was a troubled child. At the age of 3 years old, Cary developed trichotillomania, which is obsessive-compulsive hair pulling.
Interesting.
Trichotillomania.
Sounds like it hurts.
Yes.
He was put on medication but struggled with the condition through his high school years, so it stayed with him. The bald spots he created by hair pulling would become the target of bullying with classmates in later years. So he pulls his hair out at such a rate, he leaves bald spots.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of hair pulling.
Yeah, it is.
That is a...
You ever try to pull out a gray? You're like, son of a bitch, that hurts.
Nose hair. You get one of those nose hairs that stick out and you pull it and you tear up.
Yeah.
I got clippers for that. I'm not pulling anything.
At the age of 7 years old, Cary began having fantasies of abducting and killing women. Yes, at 7 years old.
Wow.
7 years old. I had fantasies of being He-Man at 7 years old.
Yeah.
Mine was being a Power Ranger.
The pink one.
Power Rangers.
Hell yeah. It's morphin' time.
When Cary was 11, things took a turn for the worse for the young man. Now, you're like, man, how can it get worse than at 3 years old you develop a hair pulling obsession, and then 7 you start fantasizing about abducting and killing women? What could possibly happen at 11?
Yeah.
Well, he claimed his uncle Jesse Stayner had molested him, although Cary never told anyone at the time. The same year, his younger brother Stephen, who was born 4 years after Cary on April 18th, 1965, was abducted by a pedophile named Kenneth Parnell on December 4th, 1972. The case sparked national attention, and Cary Stayner later claimed that while his parents mourned the missing child, he felt neglected. That selfish son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty messed up.
Yeah, it is.
His parents are distraught because his younger brother is kidnapped and is missing.
Yeah.
And he's like, what about me?
Yeah.
What about me? I pulled my hair out. What about me?
I pulled my hair out.
Although Cary was in gifted classes in school, the fantasies about women got worse as he fantasized about women being gang raped before becoming a teenager.
What?
In one instance, Cary exposed himself to a friend of his sister while she was staying at the house for a sleepover.
Just did a drive-by on her.
Cary's sending up some serious red flags.
Yeah.
Just keep running by the door with your tail open.
Like, I'm not staying at her house anymore. Her brother's weird.
Keep showing me its weenie.
But I mean, just imagine that household though. Like, they have a child that's missing.
Yep.
It's still missing at this point.
Mm-hmm.
They have another one that's pulling his hair out
Yep.
and running through the house with his dong out.
Yeah.
Now, they probably don't know that he's fantasizing about gang raping and killing women.
True.
Right.
But still, at some point, you have to say, something's not right with Cary.
Uh-huh.
At the age of 18, Cary Stayner was voted the most creative student in his graduating class for his cartoon contributions he had submitted to the school newspaper. That sounds normal.
It does.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Cary, he's such a good drawer. Don't spend the night at his house. On March 1st, 1980, Cary's brother Stephen escaped from Kenneth Parnell and returned home. Parnell was arrested. What should have been an extremely happy time for all of the Stayner family was actually a horrible time for Cary. The media frenzy that followed with his brother escaping the evil clutch of Kenneth Parnell sent Cary further down the path to evil. After Cary Stayner graduated high school, he worked as a window installer at a glass company. The following years, Cary's brother Stephen and his story continued to gain attention. A book and TV series was created telling his story called I Know My First Name is Stephen. Again, the attention affected Cary in such a way that he became enraged. Cary shared a fantasy with a friend where he dreamed of driving a truck into the company he worked at, killing everyone inside and burning the building down.
Wow.
It's a bit excessive.
Yeah.
Red flag alert.
Again.
I mean, just sitting around with your buddies and he's like, yeah, I have this fantasy where I'm driving this truck. I just crash it into the building.
Right.
I get out and kill everyone inside, then set it on fire. And his buddy's like, some good weed.
Like, Cary, you crazy son of a bitch.
Cary, you so crazy. You been showing your ding dong off again. I mean, but this guy has sent up enough red flags now for
Right.
somebody
Oh, yeah.
to be like, hey, we need to take a
Yep.
closer look at Cary.
Mm-hmm.
Tragedy struck the Stayner family on September 16th, 1989, when Cary's brother, Stephen, was killed in a hit-and-run accident while riding home on his motorcycle.
Uh-oh.
Stephen left behind a wife and 2 children. The driver of the car that struck Stephen was later caught and arrested. More attention was put on Stephen, and over 500 people attended his funeral. You can only imagine the jealousy of Cary during that time.
Right.
Dude, just imagine the shit luck there. Like,
That is
out of-
the worst luck of anyone.
I'm saying out of everybody in that town they live in, like, you hit the boy that's been missing.
Oh, you're talking about the luck of the guy that killed him.
Yeah, it's like you hit that one guy. You hit him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It could have been anybody. And you
Just
hit
think about
that
the
guy.
crap luck of Stephen, though. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Get kidnapped.
yeah, I got kidnapped at 7 and
Then you get killed on a motorcycle.
yeah, 24 years old, man.
Terrible.
But that is the crappiest luck.
It really
It
is.
is.
For not just the guy that you're talking about, but for Stephen, like, yep, I escaped a pedophile who kept me captive.
Yep.
And I'm living my life. Got married, had 2 kids, and now I'm going to get hit on a motorcycle and killed.
Yeah.
But while that tragedy is going on, Cary, in Cary's mind, he's like, this dude gets all the attention. The following year, Cary's uncle Jesse, who not only had supposedly molested him as an 11-year-old boy, but whom Cary was also living with, was murdered.
Jeez.
So, no one finds it odd that Cary, who said that he was molested by his uncle Jesse, is living with him later in life.
That's a little weird.
But then Uncle Jesse comes up murdered.
Mm-hmm.
No suspect was named at the time. I wonder who the suspect's going to be.
Me too.
In 1991, Cary Stayner tried to commit suicide with carbon monoxide poisoning. He was unsuccessful. So the old starting the car in the garage didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
That's a terrible thing to say, but yeah. As we go on, yeah. In 1995, Cary was admitted to a mental institution after claiming to have had a nervous breakdown. He was released, however, after receiving treatment. Like at no time there was like, something wrong with this one. 2 years later, in 1997, Cary Stayner was hired as a handyman for the Cedar Lodge Motel in El Portal, California, just outside the Highway 140 entrance to Yosemite National Park. Stayner was a well-liked employee who stayed at the lodge. He was in charge of all different types of tasks around the lodge, like cleaning services to fixing electrical and mechanical problems. In February of 1999, 3 females who were staying at the lodge disappeared. Dum, dum, dum. 43-year-old Carol Sund, 15-year-old Julie Sund, which was the daughter of Carol, and a 16-year-old Argentinian exchange student who was traveling with the Sunds named Silvina Peloso. On February 15th, 1999, Cary Stayner shot and killed 43-year-old Carol Sund, then raped and shot and killed 16-year-old Silvina Peloso. He put the 2 bodies in the Sunds' rental car and torched the vehicle in the woods.
Wow.
The following day, February 16th, 1999, Cary raped and strangled 15-year-old Julie to death.
Jeez.
So he kept the youngest, for another day.
Yeah.
Stayner would dump Julie's body near Lake Pedro, miles away from where the torched rental car was. For weeks, the 3 women were believed to have just disappeared, but as the investigation went on, police began to lean towards murder. That's odd to me that they're like, they must have just disappeared. They just up and vanished.
Yeah.
And now we're like, oh, wait a minute. They might have been murdered.
Yeah.
They didn't just disappear.
Right.
A month after their abductions, a pair of hikers found the torched car. The 2 bodies inside were burned beyond recognition, and it took a full week for investigators to identify them as Carol Sund and Silvina Peloso. The following week, a note was received by authorities that detailed the location of Julie's body. This dude sent a note to the investigators with a map of where they could find Julie's body.
That's insane.
That's really some bold stuff right there. An FBI task force and law enforcement officials from the 4 surrounding counties started investigating a number of past offenders. Along with the several past offenders investigators interviewed, they also interviewed the workers at the lodge. Among them was Cary Stayner. Cary remained calm during his interview, and because he didn't have a criminal record, he was not considered a suspect. In June of 1999, investigators reported that although nobody had been convicted for the murders, they were sure that they had the suspect already in custody. They're like, we don't know who it is, but we're pretty sure we got him in custody. They were wrong. And on July 22nd, 1999, the body of Joey Ruth Armstrong was found. She had been decapitated.
Ooh.
Witnesses told investigators there was a blue 1972 International Scout at Armstrong's cabin before she came up missing. That led investigators to the owner of the blue International Scout, which was none other than Cary Stayner. Off subject, I'd like to have a 72 International Scout.
Yeah.
Those are actually pretty cool. But not one that gets me caught for murder.
True.
Anyways, evidence linking Stayner to the murders was found, and he was charged with all 4 murders. He was tried in federal court for Armstrong's murder, since that actually happened on federal land, which was Yosemite National Park.
Right.
To avoid a possible death sentence, he pleaded guilty to premeditated first-degree murder, felony first-degree murder, kidnapping resulting in death, and attempted aggravated sexual abuse resulting in death. During the sentencing hearing, Cary Stayner told the courtroom that he like breaks it down in the courtroom and says, quote, "I wish I could take it back, but I can't. I wish I could tell you why I did such a thing, but I don't even know myself. I'm so sorry. I wish there was a reason, but there isn't. It's senseless." He was sentenced to life in prison without parole for the federal charge of murder. So, but going back to, this murder happening in Yosemite, the location where he met Armstrong was like a spot where he would go frequently because he thought he had seen Bigfoot at one time.
Oh, really?
God.
Yeah. I'm gonna go out there and look for old Sasquatches. Saskatchewans. Sasquatchewans. Wow. Wrong place, wrong time. Stayner then faced the remaining 3 murders in state court because those murders did not happen on federal land. Stayner pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity in state court. That's odd to me.
Yeah.
Like, why would you plead insanity in state court but not in federal court?
Right.
He's like, I wasn't crazy when I killed her, but these other ones I was insane.
Maybe trying to avoid the death penalty or something?
Yep. That's exactly what.
They have the federal death penalty.
Yeah, so I don't know why he skated on the federal charge.
Yeah.
And in state court, he's like, I'm insane. I don't want to be put to death. His lawyers claim that the Stayner family had a history of sexual abuse and mental illness manifesting itself not only in the murders, but also his obsessive-compulsive disorder he had been diagnosed with. And get this, his request to be provided with child pornography in return for his confession.
What?
He's like, I'll tell you everything if you give me dirty pictures of little kids.
That is disgusting.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Cary Stayner was, however, found sane and convicted of 3 counts of first-degree murder with special circumstances and 1 count of kidnapping by a jury on August 27, 2002. He was sentenced to death and sent to death row at San Quentin Prison in California.
Nice.
But since there has not been an execution in California since 2006, he still sits there.
Oh, of course.
Yep.
On a little side note, Cary Stayner later claimed that in 1998, he intended to lure and kill 2 Finnish girls. Just before he could, the girl's advisor showed up and scared him off. So there could have been 2 more murders added to his resume, but timing saved the 2 young girls' lives. Also, in a final note, after Cary was arrested and sentenced, they reopened his Uncle Jesse's murder case, but nothing has manifested in that.
Oh, okay.
Yet. Oh, what are they going to do? You killed him, you're on death row, just sit there.
Yeah, right.
Maybe he really killed his brother. Maybe he hit him.
I don't think that's what
In
happened.
a stolen car.
And then blamed it on someone else. But it's crazy to think that he, like, this whole time, he's like, I'm so jealous of Steven. I can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
Look at my wiener.
Pretty extreme.
Look at my wiener.
I mean, and that's probably, like, he came out and said that was part of the reason that he did what he did. Was he was jealous of the attention his brother got.
Right.
Like, I'm so jealous of someone that I'm going to go out and commit murders.
Right.
Not me. Not me, buddy.
Hail to the no.
Nope.
What do you got for me, Rex?
All right. Go to our Facebook page. Give us a like. Any comments, questions, or ideas, you can email us at eviltransgression@gmail.com.
Go to eviltransgression.com. Check out the links. You can also leave us some money so I can get some Slim Fast because I'm getting fat. I just look down. I'm getting fatter and fatter by the day.
You just need to wear non-skinny jeans.
No, it's the shirt. It's not the jeans. Like I can see my titties.
You're lactating too.
I know. I got titties. I shouldn't.
Tats. I got nipples too, Fokker. You milk me.
Leave us some comments. You guys, some of you let me down again by not leaving comments.
Uh-oh.
So I need reviews, comments, or we're not gonna ever move anywhere.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna be stuck here without those. So
yeah,
let's get it.
Okay.
Well, I have a little incentive that I'm just gonna give a hint at. We'll actually fully reveal this in the coming days, probably on TikTok or Facebook or probably both or Twitter. But we have a limited edition item that we're gonna give away.
Sweet.
To what do you think? 1, 2, maybe 3 of our most devoted,
Yeah,
that's three
biggest fans. Limited edition item, and Dustin's gonna come up with a way for you to win this item.
Yeah, Mr. PR.
So I mean, you might want to keep an eye on the good old social media.
Yep.
All right, cool. So until next time, Evil Mom.
See ya.
see ya.
Peace.